Alright, hello Monster Hunters. So, today I'm going to be doing something I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, my Pathfinder party has a boss battle coming up tonight. So, I need to actually design the encounter place. Now, they are a party of 2 level 11s and 3 level 10s. So, we're actually getting up there, and there's going to be a lot of power being thrown around. They're facing off against a half-dragon giant who's also made a pact with a demon to get extra powers. So he's a little bit of a homebrew monster, and they will be also fighting against a few other half-demon giants and some Magma Dragons. So there's going to be a lot of magic being thrown around. There's going to be a lot of flying. So we have to go through and try to make sure that we have a very interesting battle to go through. So right now I have 65 squares. That puts it at 325 feet. I usually do want to have a little bit of a space on the outside so that I can make marks, or so it's a little bit clear. But this might be a little bit too big, so I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to choose a slightly different size. 50 feet would be 250 feet, and I think that's fine for a boss battle. And that way I can adequately use the space. Maybe make it a little bit more wide than it is tall, so maybe 50 feet by 45 feet. Right, we're going to go to map 2. We're gonna close this down. Alright, so they're coming up from the south, the southwest side. They don't know that because no one has the no direction spell. There's no druids. So first thing we want to do is we want to find a good terrain. Now I've been using specific terrain for this. Oh, this is features. I've been using specific terrain that they're pretty useful in. It's this one. So we're gonna just kind of roll it in, just like this. Okay. So this will lead into the final room. We're gonna zoom out a little bit. We want to get the shape pretty good. Now I want to use some of the space, so we're going to put a little loop back a little bit. And the thing about doing that is now it creates a blind spot, so as the party comes in here, we're not going to be able to see what's over there. So that gives a chance for some ambushes, and that adds a little bit of drama, so they can go through and maybe they feel very confident, but if they're just fighting over here and not looking back here, then they will possibly run into some issues. It also gives me a good way to, increase the difficulty if things are too easy. Alright, and obviously the exit is going to be right, we're going to take it and we're going to put it right there. So that's the exit. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to take this bucket and we're going to fill in this area, and from there we're going to start developing the area. So all these creatures are immune to fire. Well, the half Fiend Giants only have fire resistance 10, but they are in a volcanic area. So I'm gonna have various pits of lava, and we're going to make sure that's all filled up. Now, pits of lava If you fall into one, you take 20 dice 6 points of fire damage, which is not big. At this level, it is survivable. We've already had one player fall into lava and he got out alive. Granted, he did have a belt of fire resistance 10, which did save it, and I was a little bit lenient because I split it up into 2 rolls of 10 dice 6. So he actually saved 20 fire points of damage. But his party is now giving him the Ashen One nickname because, well, this is the second time he's been put into lava. And that time he was thrown into lava the second time. The first time it popped out and he's like, alright, I'm gonna jump through it because I feel like I can take it. And I, well, damaged one of his magical items. I had him roll some saves. He rolled really poorly on one of them, and so one of his magical items was damaged. Not destroyed, just damaged. And I usually like doing stuff like that, where you give your players kind of a warning of what bad choices can do. Because when he realized, like, oh, my item broke, he's like, okay, I'm going to put this away and only take it out when I need it. So that's kind of what they're planning right now. They are like, okay, now I have to put it back on, because it was a decent item. It was a homebrew item, gave +4 armor bonus. He's a monk, so that stacked with his other abilities. It also made any attacks you made while wearing it deal silver damage, which has actually been pretty relevant. And it's relevant here because the boss monster is weak to silver. Well, not weak to silver, but he has damage reduction that gets bypassed by what's it called? Silver damage. So right now I'm just adding in some stalagmites. These create cover for the players to go through. It can also obscure certain things. So like, it kind of hides the path here. It also creates things that are impassable. So then we're going to take this, and I use this lighter color of the rough stone to show that there is an indent. So these go a little bit below, and I count it as rough terrain to go through because you're running uphill, so you get a little bit more tired. It's a little bit more difficult. It also, if someone's attacking from up here, they have the high ground, which gives them a +2 circumstance bonus to attack rolls. And if we put it behind these things, behind these stalagmites, it creates a really good hiding spot for the players. Not so much for the giants because, well, they're real big. Alright, and the other thing I wanted to do is I actually wanted to put in some water. Now the water, we actually probably want to roll this out just a little bit more. That paint, no, gotta make sure that there is no diagonal spaces, because it does go through diagonal spaces. I do want to put, I don't know if I like that actually. Control Z. Whoops. I don't know if I like this, honestly. Having it come back this far. So we're not going to do that. Having it this way means I can just have the map like this and the party can't see it. So if I want the map right here, that means I have to cross out one more thing. I gotta make sure to undo the paint bucket every single time. So we're gonna do it too. So that way, we're just like this. They can't see what's above there. They can see what's over here. But maybe I want to reduce the number of lava. put in some water. And again, we want to get rid of the paint bucket. We want to create a little bit of depth. Take some water and put it over here. Now the water actually gives the players an ability to kind of negate some of the fire damage. They can go underwater so that they don't take as much fire damage. This water will be pretty warm. It's going to be like a hot spring. So they'll probably they probably won't be taking damage, but it won't be like to stop a burn or anything. Okay, so we're almost done with the terrain here. I do want to throw in some of these stones. It adds a little bit of storytelling element that this used to be like a temple. They already were in one temple where the ground started melting away because of lava. So this kind of hopefully brings it back to them, reminds them of that. I do have some players who are really good at remembering everything. So sometimes they remember things better than I do, and I end up regretting making things up on the fly, but you know, it just happens. So we're gonna have some smooth stone plates. We're going to actually fill this in mostly. Alright, so I think that's it. So now we can actually start adding features into this place. So, Rubble is a great thing to do. It creates uneven ground. It takes more of an action to move through it. So the players just can't sprint around doing anything that they want. It can actually really throw a wrench into a player's plan. It also gives players an opportunity, like, oh, there's some rocks here, I'm going to use those as ammunition. And just giving a little bit of an extra feature really lets players kind of plan out and think of something new to do. Alright, and I do like to throw some chests in here because it gives the players like a reward, and it gives them a reason to not run away from the combat. I don't force my players to fight. Instead, I give them a rewards for fighting. So if the players don't see a reward for fighting, they know that, like, oh, this is probably something that we should conserve our resources on. Because when they first entered this dungeon, they're like, we're going to fight everything. And they regretted it very quickly, because about 3 hours into exploring the dungeon, they no longer had any resources to fight anything else. And it actually had them get stomped by the first time they encountered the boss. I do like to make it a little bit difficult to get some of these, so like I'll hide them underwater. I'll put them surrounded by lava. This one will be in lava. Okay, so there's some spike bits and there's some empty bits. So I'm going to throw some empty bits here, because that just lets players know that they can push something in, or they could get pushed into those things. The blackness means they're not falling into the lava, but they could disappear from the party. I'm going to put that one there. It also gives the monsters something to come out of. If I need to add some more things to the encounter, it makes a lot more sense if they have to come out. And then this is a high magic area, and I've been putting these runes all over the place. And basically it's kind of like just a random thing of what will happen. Most of the time it's bad, but if things are going bad and a monster needs to heal, I can do that, and I can show the players one monster going in and they get healed, and then another monster going in and a fire explosion happens. So it gives the players like an idea, like, oh, something good might happen, something bad might happen. Alright, so this is seeming a little bit busy actually. I don't know if I want this many pits and this many magic circles. It is a pretty big map, and it's up to me to make sure that everything's used pretty well. So we have a circle there. I think we'll take out one circle and one add some doors. So I do want this to be like a boss battle, and I do want them to fight. It's kind of like the make or break. So if I add a door right here that's locked, they have to spend like 2die4 rounds to pick the lock or fight it out. I know that sounds kind of strange, especially since I said I use chests to encourage the fighting, but this is the end of the dungeon, mostly. I don't foresee any big things happening. It's going to be the final boss battle, so I do want them to face it. I want them to be able to overcome, because the story boss that they've been working towards is going to be a little bit stronger. It's going to be a lich, and it's going to have 2-player classes, and not like multi-class, but Paragon Gestalt. It's going to be a rogue summoner. Oh, I'm going to cut that out. Cut that out, Mason, because I'm going to post this on YouTube and I don't want them to watch and see what happens. But I do want to force them into this fight. Alright, take a look at other features. Now we're going to take some of these plants. I'm just going to fill them in. So there are some plants that can live in all sorts of different areas. Having some underground plants, it gives the giants like a constant food source. It also provides a little bit of rough terrain, so like the players aren't just going to be able to run all around here. It can also provide some places to hide, so if they do want to sneak to try to find the best time to attack, hiding in the bushes could really help the players. So I'm looking here and I'm actually just testing this out, and that is a way to like make it a little bit bigger. Let's control Z that though. I don't really like it. Okay, that raises it up a little bit, so that creates a little bit of a high ground. And then we can put one more over here. So that actually kind of negates that. Alright, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Any other things that I want to do? We could put a little bit of a volcano here. There we go. So that gives the opportunity for lava to spew out on the players. Alright, next we're going to put the labels. So there's going to be 3 types of monsters. There's going to be the Fiend Giants. So FG. There's gonna be 3 of those FG1, and I always put my enemies in red. So we're gonna put this. We actually want to make this a little bit bigger too. 100, and we're going to put it one right here. I forgot to click. There we go. Right. And then we want Fiend Giant 2, new label, and we're going to put him here. And Fiend Giant 3, it's going to be pretty close. Right there. And then we have the Magma Dragons. MD. They're going to be hanging out. Well, one's going to be hanging out in the lava. The Nightmare King, which is the name of the boss, actually going to be over here. Alright, so I think this is a pretty good map. So we're going to go to File, we're going to save. Save as Nightmare. It's saved. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, and I'll let you know how the party does. Alright, thanks for watching. Keep rolling. Bye bye.